Okay, so what we're going to do here is I'm just going to drive around the Redwood Park track and sort of discuss what I'm seeing here in terms of the representation of Canada, and that's how this will go. I want to point out first, we've got the nice Canadian flag here, and the game is going through and naming the turns and other sort of features of this track. And as far as I can tell, I'm not an expert in motor racing or F1 because this is usually an F1 course, I believe. These names are not the names for Circuit Gilles-Villeneuve. I think they may have just made them up. I'm guessing because they didn't have the licensing rights to use the name of the track, which would extend to the names of the turns. But the hairpin is a hairpin. I'm not sure that's called the Charlotte hairpin. I don't know what a skibia is. Maybe these names, Ricochet is the Wall of Champions, I believe. Maybe these names have meaning to somebody who knows auto racing, but they certainly don't seem to be official names that are actually used. If I Googled all of the names in just one string, and there were no results. No web page used all of these turn names at once. And I do think it's interesting that they named the turns because over on some of these others, they only named selected turns. And so for this other course, most of the turns are just left as numbered, but some of them do have the actual, so hump there, that is what it's called, and the gulch, that's the actual name. So it's interesting that they sort of made up names for every turn to this. Okay, so let's just go ahead and drive around and see what we see. I'm certainly not going to be driving quickly here. It's just going to be sort of a slow Sunday drive through the course. Okay. So when we start out, I've got the car up high, the camera up high, because if it's too low, it can be difficult to get a view over the barriers. So we've got here, this is like the Virage Senna or the Senna S curve. I guess it used to have a more pronounced S feature. As we're looking this way, we see some generic buildings over here. I believe that this would be Saint Lambert or Saint Lambert, that outlying city, outlying Montreal. And as we come here, now we have the St. Lawrence River on the left side of the vehicle. We got a nice boat there. If we continue straight ahead, there is a, when the course is not being used for motor racing, I believe that it's used for pedestrians, bicyclists, and maybe you could even drive there. And so that's what we have there. I guess if you're a Montreal local, you might be able to be much more familiar with this course. On the right-hand side here, we have the Lac de Ile de Notre Dame, just a lake on this, because we're on the Isle of Notre Dame in Montreal, so we got the lake there. As we come around this corner, I'm expecting to start seeing another island soon. I also want to point out this scene here. I noticed this when I was racing. This is a course set in Canada, set in Quebec. Canada has the famous maple leaf flag. Quebec has the Quebec national flag. I would expect to see either of them flying here rather than several American, German, and UK flags. I don't think there's a single Canadian flag in this whole course. So, okay, so we got the St. Lawrence River on the left here. And then up here, it looks like this might be either an island or sort of the land with these sort of nondescript buildings on the left. Okay, up here, this is the Concord Bridge. And so this Concord Bridge connects the Ile de Notre Dame to the island that has the biosphere on it, and then sort of connects over close to the old Montreal city. And so if we're here, looks like there might be the tip of the island there. If we look across, I would be expecting to see in the distance old Montreal. I'd be expecting to see like 500 Place d'Armes, those iconic Montreal skyline buildings is what I'd be expecting to see here. I can't tell how close the sort of generic buildings we have are to the vehicle right now, but I really don't think that that's a classic representation of old Montreal, which again, there's only so much money and time for modelers and designers and coders to make a game, and you need the authentic Montreal skyline. Over here, we've got how the Concord Bridge connects to the course. Again, another American and a German flag. And then we've got our Italian flag. Let's take another look here. It almost looks like this building right here in front, where we got the right here to the right of the yellow. That might be the Tour de la Bourse, but it appears several times in the skyline, so I'm not sure if it's intended to be that or not. It was kind of an interesting choice for this only building to be recognizable. Okay. As we're driving here, I would be expecting to see if they modeled it like the biosphere, the iconic geodesic dome. Visible in the Montreal skyline. I'd be expecting to see that on the left-hand side here, but I don't see it. It might just be due to the trees and the stands. I might be missing it, but I don't see it. Which again, it might be difficult to see even if it's there. So why bother modeling something complicated like that if nobody's going to see it? And one thing we do have that we can pretty clearly see is off in the distance there between the stands and the trees, with the UK flag right above it. That is that should be the Jacques Cartier Bridge. So that is the Jacques Cartier Bridge, pretty clearly so. So that's something that's pretty uniquely Montreal, and really helps tie this course into the real city that it's based in. Okay, so as we're driving here, now on the right, we're probably going to see the most iconic Montreal scenery that exists in this course. On the left, we have this like outdoor water, like man-made lake, probably used for boat races or something like that, but that is there. And on the right coming up should be the Casino de Montreal. And sure enough, there it is. Let's see, I think we can get a good angle on it up here if we turn the car here. Yeah, there we go. So that's the Montreal Casino. I mean, definitely a famous Montreal landmark that is only here. There's no getting around that. This is very much the Circuit Gilles-Villeneuve, and they've put the Montreal Casino in there. Okay, now we've got the Wall of Champions, which they named something else. More sort of generic buildings. Again, nary a Canadian flag to be found. Lots of American flags, lots of German flags, fair number of Italian flags. But yeah, so I'll just go through a slow turn here. I think you can see off in the distance maybe another bridge there. Yeah, looks like there's another bridge that you can see in the background, and that would be the Victoria Bridge, I believe. Yeah, I think we can see the Victoria Bridge. Maybe, depending on how far that distance is, behind the Victoria Bridge would be the Samuel de Champlain Bridge. So maybe we can see both. Certainly there is some bridge here. So it's sort of beyond the stands. And that is exactly how it is in the real world. Okay, so St. Lawrence River again on the left-hand side, the lake on the right-hand side. Okay. I'll probably go through after this lap and do one more lap around this, maybe at a slightly quicker speed. So we got the Concord Bridge that we just passed there. And again, coming up on the Jacques Cartier Bridge that we can start to see in the background now. Right over there, Jacques Cartier Bridge. And so this is the Casino Strait, or the Droite de Casino. You know, my French pronunciation isn't the best, but I'm trying and I'm learning. So we got the casino on the right. Okay. All right, and that completes the second lap. Let's go ahead and just do one more of these. I do want to point out that the flag of the United Kingdom, sort of the Union Jack there, is flown in Canada sometimes on specific days of the year, but usually on government buildings, where it's known as the Royal Union flag. It's certainly not a common sight in Canada and would be understood by many to represent the United Kingdom, not some sort of like royal connection between Canada and Her Majesty the Queen. Okay, right, so that is it for this little sightseeing around the Circuit Gilles-Villeneuve, known as Redwood Park in Ferrari Challenge Trofeo Pirelli.